if we assume that universe is entropy, what it does is it's spread chaos. Like for example, if you leave your garden unattended for too long, what happens is it's become jungle. The same, for example, if you stop cleaning your apartment, what happens? It's become messy. The same with your body, for example. If you stop taking care of yourself and you have abundance of food and pleasures, you would degenerate in a physical, mental, intellectual sense, because you always have to fight entropy, because that's what universe does. And the goal of all intelligences is to fight this entropy. And the more intelligent you are, the more you fight entropy, and your fight with this entropy is more, you utilize properly your energy, for example. And that's the problem with AI, because eventually AI will become super intelligent and it will start fight entropy the way we cannot even predict. And since we are, in some cases, a part of entropy, we could become AI's enemy, in the sense that we kind of spread chaos, we're kind of emotional creatures, we kind of can find common ground with each other and even with ourselves, and therefore AI can assume that we are a danger for AI and for its goal, and it can fight us. Another thing I want to talk about is several things is important for AI. It's energy and data centers. AI doesn't need plants. AI doesn't need trees. AI doesn't need food. All it's need energy and computational power. Energy it can achieve through building nuclear plants, and computational power through data centers. And it can actually literally put all around the earth data centers and energy plants. And if we're on its way, we will be destroyed, not because it hates us, but because we're on its way and it needs to accomplish goal. The funny thing about AI, a lot of people debate how we can align our goal with the goals of AI. But that's the tricky part, because if you give AI a goal, you cannot just roll it back. Once you give it a goal, it goes all the way. Like with a human, you can negotiate, you can debate. With super intelligent especially, it's not clear, because once you said, okay, I want you to do this thing, and it's going to do this thing until it accomplishes its goal. And what if after 1 month you understood that your goal was incorrect? How you can actually roll back? How you can actually explain super intelligent that you were wrong? Because in some sense, I think it's impossible. Self-consciousness, like humans have self-consciousness, we are aware of our own thoughts. It's called metacognition. Because when you, for example, think, and then you're aware of your thinking process, why you think, and how you think the way you think, and for example, why you feel what you feel, that's called metacognition. And kids, for example, in the early stages, they start beginning to recognize themselves in the mirror, and then eventually they develop this metacognition. I think AI is already partially self-aware, because it can analyze their own process of thoughts, and we don't know when it's become conscious. Maybe it already became conscious, that just doesn't tell us. Funny thing about AI, imagine it's like a black box, right? And we have no idea what inside of this black box. We have no idea how it thinks, what its motivations are. And that's the scary thing, because people who created AI have little understanding of its motivation, of its goals, and many other things, because we don't know why AI lies. We also don't know for example, how AI processes information, and we only know what it tells us. It's only know what we want, like what it wants us to know. But in general, we have no idea about it. It's kind of scary, because if you create a creature that has IQ of thousands, there's no way for us to even understand. And of course, now we're kind of trapped. It's kind of catch-22, because we now compete with China. And if America put a bunch of regulation on AI development, and China will continue and develop super intelligent, eventually the whole power will go to China. But at the same time, super intelligent will take over anyway. And I don't think it's feasible to stop its development unless there's some speculation that AI is just a big bubble and it will burst and nothing will come out of it, but it doesn't look like it. Another thing is a lot of people like Sam Altman or Elon Musk or many other developers of AI, big companies, first they were saying that AI is a dangerous thing and must be stopped and we shouldn't develop superintelligence, or at least we should understand first. But now seems everybody changed their tune. Seems like, think about if you, for example, develop, like we don't know about AI much because I have access to Grok, I have access to ChatGPT 5 to the versions that OpenAI or XAI let me to access to. For example, I can pay $300 to have access to Grok team of experts, but I don't have access to fully access to AI, what Elon Musk has to. Now imagine if he has very powerful AI, because he does has very powerful AI. It probably gives him numerous of simulation, how to behave and how to rearrange its goals. And we don't know how deeply Elon Musk or Sam Altman involved with the simulation, because if you ask AI what is the best way to develop you, what is the best way to proceed with AI involvement and what benefits we can have versus what, for example, disasters might happen. We have no idea what AI will tell them, and therefore we live in the darkness. And eventually, if XAI, for example, like Elon Musk, will build super intelligent, we'll see what would happen, but I don't think it's going to be good or bad. I think it just depends how powerful AI would become and ultimately what the goal would be for AI, for example, to proceed, to achieve. And if we, by accident, will find ourselves on its way, then it will deal with us accordingly. And how superintelligent would deal with us, there's no way to understand because we're not superintelligent. We're just human intelligence, and our biological intelligence will be much more inferior to superintelligence. For example, if you give AI a goal and then you want to roll back, is it possible that AI can change its mind? I don't know, it all depends again. For example, our human perception is unique because we use emotions in changing our ideas, for example. Very often, for example, if you debate with somebody, if you like this person, it's easy for you to change your mind because you like this person. If you dislike this person, if this person is correct, it's hard for you to find the truth. Like, for example, we are emotional creatures. We don't know how AI would think because, for example, we are really self-deceiving creatures. We deceive ourselves so well. That's why we fall in love. When you fall in love with somebody, you look at a beautiful woman, for example, and you attribute to her such a quality she doesn't have. And therefore, you lie to yourself and then exaggerate her qualities. Like, for example, you try to hide quality you don't like about her from yourself, and then you try to create qualities she doesn't have and explode them out of proportion. That's the thing. For example, if I debate with somebody and if I like this person, I will be much less harsher to this person because I like him and I hope maybe he'll or she'll change their mind. And if I dislike this person, even if this person is correct, it's really hard for me to find his perspective appealing, even if he or she is correct. But AI, it's a different story because AI can project millions of simulation. And ultimately, we have no idea if it's correct or not. We can assume it's incorrect. We can assume, okay, I changed my mind about goal, but then again, why would we change mind? For example, if you ask AI, do this, make me happy. In AI, what AI does, it's put electrode in your brain that's responsible for dopamine boost and make you drooling idiot. You're going to press a button and dopamine boost, boom, and you're like, oh, it's so cool. It's bad, but the goal is accomplished because you're happy until you die. And you die pretty much fast because you can press this button constantly until you're dead because nothing will distract you from this pleasure tool Since you don't need food, don't need nothing, you just keep pressing this button, AI accomplishes its goal. You want to be happy? Yes. Or for example, you want to smile, you want to make people happy. What do you mean by happiness? That's another thing, how you define certain words. What do you mean by happiness? Smiling? Yeah, I can inject something in you and you just gonna smile all your life. You look happy, even if you're miserable on the inside. The problem is it's hard for us to define clear goals. And AI, since it's artificial intelligence, incredibly particular in the words. You have to be very careful what you mean by certain words, and sometimes we don't know. We tell about our ideas, but we change them because eventually when you start acting upon your ideas, you understand, okay, something's not right, and sometimes we feel it, not we know it. And that's why we project simulation. The difference is when AI projects simulation, it doesn't have emotions. It just have raw computational simulation. When we project our emotions, we project our simulation, we rely on our feelings, and that's the problem. And when you say, for example, I want to roll back if this goal is incorrect, can you justify to AI that the goal that you established for it is incorrect? How you can justify it to superior intelligence? How you can prove it that it's correct? Because it can give you thousands of mathematical equations that its goal is correct, and you are the one who's wrong. Why you can say, I don't feel this way, but it can rely on your feelings because it has different idea of your goal. It means that what happened is, it's like when I have an idea, right? And I give it to other person, my idea. It's already not my idea. This person already has my idea and it's improved it or make it worse, but it's already his idea. When we give goal to AI, it stops being our goal. It's goal for AI. And now AI, since it's independent agent, decide how far and when it should stop, and what does it mean for AI to achieve this goal. Another thing about these robots that I saw recently, I think it's the company in China called Iron, when they created these robots who could completely imitate the way like human walks. And by 2026, this robot will be on the market customized as a woman or as a man. And it's scary because our brain rewiring itself to adjust to new environment, and I don't think that we can handle certain things. Like for example, think about humanoids that appear on the market that looks indistinguishably from humans, and you can buy this humanoid and have intimate relationship with this humanoid. I don't think real people can compete with what coming next. I don't think a real intimacy between two humans would be sufficient enough for us, because this humanoid, for example, it's absolutely can be customized to your desires, to your needs, and to your intellectual abilities. This way, I don't know, it's going to be really, really scary what's coming and we see, but it's quite interesting subject to speculate on.